What is up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the America's Best Real Estate Experts. We've got a phenomenal business to highlight for you guys here today. I'll be bringing them on the set here very shortly. But before I do, be sure to head over to americasbestrealestateexperts.com for your place to find all the best real estate experts across the nation. You can go in there, you're able to search in your area and see who we've identified as one of America's best. And if there's a company out there that you think should be showcased on there, be sure to send us a message and let us know so that we can get them highlighted here on the show. Now, today I'm bringing on somebody who has been around the game and in the scene of real estate for quite some time. We work with them very, very closely with our digital marketing agency over at REI Toolbox. We've seen them go from basically nothing to getting really, really established, and I'm excited for them to be able to share their story today. We're going to be talking to Ohana Legacy Properties with Chris and Sal, the two owners, the father-son dynamic duo, and I'm excited to do it. So let's go ahead and get ready to dive in.
America's best, that's the name. Real estate's the game, and we're here to claim the crown for the best in the land of the free. Our podcast is the place to be. So listen up close, read on all the research. America's best real estate experts.
What is up, Chris, Sal? How are you guys doing? Let me know that you guys can actually hear me, and we're ready to rock and roll.
I can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear. We're excited.
Wow, nice intro. Thank you.
Well, I had to do it up for you guys, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's cool.
Couldn't just go live and be like, okay, here's Caveman and his dad, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are things going? Let us know where you guys are tuning in from or where you're joining us from in the country.
Well, we're in from Katy, Texas, just outside of Houston. But you know, it's a Houston area, so we're both there right now.
And I know we were talking a little bit backstage before we went live with the show. I think all three of us are suffering from the exact same thing right now. I hate to say it's fall, but it is fall. I guess, you know, it's definitely early parts of October. So fall means allergies, I know for me. And it sounds like you guys are struggling with the same thing. So folks, take it easy on the three of us. Our voices sound a little raspy at times. Who knows? Maybe one of us sneezes at some point. It is not a pandemic happening on screen.
No, it's the allergies. They're attacking us right now.
Benadryl has been some of our best friends lately.
Yes, I could not agree more with that. So, all right, well, I'm ready to get diving in and really kind of dig into Ohana Legacy Properties, who it is, what you guys do, how you guys help in the real estate sector in and around the Houston, Texas market. But before we get going too deep into that, give us a little bit of the backstory. Tell us a little bit, you know, each of you guys can kind of take your own quick second. Tell us a little bit about how you even found real estate or what made you even want to get into this business of real estate. And again, we're not the traditional real estate, right? We're not just agents out there listing properties and representing buyers where everybody thinks it's a quick dollar to make. Far, far more advanced than that, in my opinion. So what led you guys there? How did you even get to that point?
Chris, I'll just start off first. When we started out the business, it's a family business, locally owned and operated by the two of us. And we were sitting around the kitchen table with the family and saying, well, what are we going to call this thing? And we came up with all these different names. And finally, my son and my daughter said, since it's a family business, let's call it Ohana. And I forgot that as kids, they grew up watching that Disney movie. And so that's what it became, is Ohana Legacy Properties. And we did this primarily to build a legacy for our family. And Chris and everyone else has taken it to heart.
Yes. So you can tell by the screen, the name on the screens, Sibilia is our last name. Now that is highly Sicilian. So we are not Hawaiian, but we do love the aspect of family. Right, you know, being an American household of Sicilian Americans, family is a big deal. So we decided to call it a family business, family legacy business, but on the aspect of, you know, taking it from the Hawaiian wording of it. And we get a lot of questions about it. You know, they look at us like, you don't look Samoan. So that's how our name got started, and how I started into this with my dad is I was a personal trainer for a while, personal trainer and speed performance coach for kids, and I was working tons of hours, multiple hours, and there was a ceiling. I could only be at one place at one time. And my dad pulled me aside one day and said, "Hey, there is a workshop to go to, and it has to do with real estate." Not even a clue. I didn't even know what a mortgage was. I had no idea how to get started. Um, yeah, no, you're laughing. I mean, I'm still working on tallets, those stone tallets carving in my programs. So we said, okay, let's do it. You know, we went all in, we put all the chips on the table, and we haven't looked back since. It has been an amazing experience. We've gotten to help many, many families and many clients with their real estate needs, specifically in the probate niche of things, which is what we'll get into in a little bit from here.
So, sounds like Sal was the culprit here, and it was what really drug you guys into the real estate space. So, Sal, question for you: what caught your attention with this, seminar? What made you call Chris up and say, "Hey, there's this thing going on. Why don't we go explore it?"
Well, for about a year, I was looking for something else to replace the 37-year career I had in the medical field as a sales leader and manager, and wanted something that the family could grab hold of, something that we could have freedom with, but also earn a living. And just as importantly as when I was in medicine, there's a humanitarian side to that business, and I wanted that here too. And that's why the family aspect, doing something humanitarian wise, uh, you know, compassion before commissions, that kind of thing really made a big difference. And that's why our three key words are integrity. And that's one of the three words, integrity, ethics, and keeping things very clean and very honest.
Interesting. So, Sal or Chris, your dad brings this up. You guys go to this, first. We'll call it the first leg in the journey because there's been a lot of different legs, I think, over the time. But you mentioned, you were in a completely different industry, completely focused on something, not anything to do with real estate whatsoever. Why did you choose to make that pivot?
Absolutely. So, I still do have a passion for, physical performance, so on and so forth. But for me personally, I realized that there's potential to a freedom and a life within real estate that has no ceiling, right? And I can impact and help a lot more people by doing that, with this business than I can personal training. Being in Texas, we love to eat, right? We love our barbecue, we love our beer, we love our whiskey. So physical
And you've got
training,
the size to prove that.
yeah. So physical training had its limits, at least in this particular area and culture. I'm not saying everyone does it, but it just felt like it was a lot more of an important thing, and it gave me a lot more purpose to do. But yeah, the first year, it was literally like a tidal wave going over my head. I had to start from zero, and I'm very proud of where we got into now.
So let's talk a little bit about that. We'll kind of shift gears here a little bit. Definitely a very, family oriented, family focused business. And I don't just say that from the fact that, it's a father son duo, kind of running this. I know you got a lot of the other family members involved, some privately, in the back end, from a lending standpoint and that kind of stuff. And others that maybe help in some of the projects and those type of things. Obviously you guys encompass that in the name, but I also, when I talk to you guys and when, we've gotten to know each other a lot over the last couple of years, when I look at Ohana Legacy, the name Ohana, we know it means family, and it's something that you guys truly are passionate about, helping families, right? Because
100%.
you hit it, and I want to go a little deeper in this. A lot of people look at the probate niche. They look at that probate industry, and they see it as an opportunity, right? As a real estate expert, as somebody that can help in some side, but I don't think they truly embody what it means to help a family who's in this probate situation or in this probate time, right? And the confusion and the stress and the anxiety. And let's be honest, sometimes, and I bet this happens more than not, you guys can probably attest to this, they're in it without expecting to be in it, or it's not like they asked for this to happen, right, or need to deal with it.
Exactly.
So that's something that I've always, really, really enjoyed seeing, is just how well you guys embody the name Ohana, not just internally but externally with it. So talk a little bit about why did you guys choose to really niche down in real estate, and really say, hey, you know what, probate is where our passion's at. Probate's what we want to focus on. Helping seniors, helping the family, helping transition, all that kind of stuff.
We started out in the real estate industry doing the typical, foreclosures and liens and divorces, and we made some deals, but it just didn't feel right. We looked at each other and said, okay, yeah, I'm not getting much satisfaction out of this, because it's a horrible situation. We look back at our family and back at what experiences we went through, and going through this with my parents and my in-laws, we realized there were two particular areas that we felt very compassionate about, and that is helping these people that didn't understand what was happening to them, like you just mentioned. And so the first thing was probate, and then just recently, in the past 6 to 9 months, we're doing senior transition, because we had to do this with our family. And we say that to people. We know what you're going through because we went through it ourselves. We know the anxiety. We know the stress. We know the heavy breathing. We know the frustrations and everything. So we bring that in when we sit down with people. And quite frankly, we're much better face to face rather than the initial phone call, because I'll be honest with you, half the time we're sitting there holding their hand, we're sitting there crying with them because of the situation they've gone through. And sometimes we don't get the deal because it's just not the right situation, but we make all our resources available to these people.
Anything you want to add there, Chris?
Yes, absolutely. So, you hit the nail on the head. Most people don't plan for this, and that's okay, right? Most of us, are going through our daily lives, our 9 to 5, trying to build the life that we have as the time in our life to do so. Those are from ages 30 to even 70 years old. But when a loved one tends to pass away, whether it be a parent or another family member, it's completely out of the blue. And then you have to get educated right off the bat, while you're trying to live your own life. So it's highly stressful to not have someone help hold your hand through the process and kind of educate you and kind of point you in the direction and give you different resources. Because if you're starting from scratch, you start Googling away, you could be in a lot of trouble. So that's one of the very fulfilling aspects of this, is we get to focus their compass in the direction that we feel is best for them to go. And it helps a lot of people. It is super overwhelming, very overwhelming, while trying to run your life, and now this new disaster, if you would, that comes across.
So I'm curious. You don't got to disclose private information on this, but is there a situation that comes to mind that you guys have? Maybe it was recently, maybe it's your favorite one, maybe it's one of the most satisfying ones, whatever the case. Something come to mind where you were able to do just that, and share what you can. Obviously, I don't want you guys to give away too much personal information, but I'd love to hear.
We had one. Actually, it was a deal that was both a probate and a senior transition. It was a combination, so it was even more entangled.
Explain that real quick in case somebody listening or watching this is like, what the heck is, probate? I think a lot of people understand. Senior transition, yes. That's a term, right? That's a phrase that I know a lot of people don't always understand the meaning behind.
It means someone that is at the age or at the health level that they have to move on to a senior community. And in those situations, again, same situation, you're not ready for that. You're not planning for that. All of a sudden you wake up one day and someone says to me, oh, you're okay, but you can't stay here alone anymore. Or you need to turn the sprinklers back on again. It's only been 6 months. Or, you've got these trees that are in front of your house and, we can't walk through or anything. They stop the maintenance. They do all this stuff. And then they're told, that they can't be alone, and they're moving into a senior community in 2 weeks, and they've got this house that, you know, is in disrepair. The repairs are too high; they can't afford it, or they're just in that. It's usually time. Time is of the essence. Most,
Got it.
as we know, most closings and houses take a period of time. We move lightning speed because we get private lending, and we can close as quickly as 15 days. We actually have closed as quickly as 5 days. But to get back, this was a senior person that had a hip replacement, that could not go up and down the stairs anymore. The house was in disrepair. It needed a lot of maintenance. And it was going to cost probably $40,000 just to get it up to speed to pass inspection. And he did not have the time nor the wherewithal. So we got the whole thing together, but then we realized, again, we learn all the time. We learned that there were heirs involved, okay, that were involved in the selling of the house, which delayed everything because they wanted a piece of the action, which was fine. We used our compassion and backed up a little bit, and then came back at them with a clean picture of some options. And fortunately, the senior person was able to move into the senior community and get care, and the house was sold, and everybody got their proceeds, and it was a win-win, happy Ohana message.
It's awesome, Chris. You
It
look
was
like
a lot more complicated than that, but I can't tell you.
I was gonna say I had you spotlighted there for a second, but I could still see, folks. You guys only see what I'm allowing you to see from moving the cameras around here.
Right.
But Chris, you look like you were about to add something there as your dad was kind of talking.
Yes, absolutely. So that particular situation, when there's real estate and when there's a lot of assets involved, it tends to get messy. Not always, but quite often, and that's okay, right? Even though it's your family member, you don't have to like them, but you have to love them. And a lot of times we find that situation out exactly. And there's a lot of fighting and emotions, especially someone who's either about to have to go into senior transition or someone who just passed. And for us to come in and be the cool heads, be the ones who are transparent, and the ones who are able to say, hey, let's take a step back, let's take a deep breath, let's look at this very strategically, and these are the options that we lay out for them. So, in that situation, it was difficult. We followed it for quite a few months, and then they needed to take their time and step back. And that's something that we do. We don't rush people. We don't say, hey, you got to sign it right now, right today. Let's get going. No, take your time. Take whatever time you need. We are here for you, and we have services for you in the meantime.
So, and we don't claim, even though we got trained and we're certified probate real estate experts, we don't claim to be experts in probate. What we do is guide people, because the very first thing when we get a call from someone in probate, they say, do you have a licensed probate attorney in the state of Texas? If you don't, you need to get one, because we're not the attorneys. We can find you one. We can help you. We have a title company that has 3 attorneys in it, and they're wonderful to us, so we always have these kinds of resources. So it's not like we try to take any of this load on ourselves. We use the resources that are available. And the same way with the senior transition, we stay in our lane. We stick to the real estate side, and we do all kinds of things.
Awesome. So I also want to kind of be respectful of you guys' time. So I'm watching our time up there, but give everybody, in a 2-minute or less kind of piece here, what exactly Ohana Legacy does on a day-to-day basis. Why should somebody, reach out to Ohana Legacy if they're in the Houston market? Kind of, give us the 2-minute commercial, I guess.
Chris?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So why Ohana Legacy Property? We are a family business who will treat you as a family. We're very transparent. We have a 3-step simple process that you can check out our website at ohanalegacyproperties.com. We are the ones who are answering the phone. So you won't talk to a robot at this time. You won't talk to any others. And regardless, we will be the ones in your living room face-to-face going over everything with you. The other aspect to us is we're pretty down to earth guys, right? We're not going to come in with a suit and tie and try and hack the prices and so on and so forth. We're completely honest. We don't come back on our offer price, whatever that may be, but we're just here to help. We're a father and son family business who are here to help you guys navigate through the real estate probate process.
I can attest, folks, that you won't see him in a suit. I think I have the only picture of Chris in a suit. I think you even said that to me.
I came out of a closet.
The other thing too is that we are very transparent. If it's not a good situation, we'll say this is not a good situation for us.
Yes.
This is not the kind of house that we could help you with, and we're very honest. And then we say to them, "Oh, we have realtors that can handle those kinds of houses for you." But so we're very transparent. We're not wasting anybody's time, and we're going to honor and respect the person that was there. Honor, respect the person that we're working with, because we want to be treated the way we treat other people. And the way people work with us is, and I always say to people after we tell them why they should work with us, like Chris just mentioned, we say, I want you not to believe me. Don't believe me. Go to our website, look at the reviews, see what they say. I said, because me telling you means nothing. We don't know each other yet. So go look at people that we've worked with and then see what they say.
I know you guys don't work with just, in the industry, folks, we call it direct to seller, right? Where we're working directly with the home seller themselves or a family member of the home seller. You guys also work with, a wide array of other professionals. Absolutely. In and around the probate, sector. Briefly, before we kind of wrap up, just kind of explain that a little bit. How are you guys working? What are some of the other team members, that we like to call them, that you guys work directly with?
Daddy, you want to answer that?
Yeah, just a couple. We work with contractors, maintenance people. We work with estate planning people. We work with probate attorneys. We're working on building, and we just got another lead today for estate sales. People that we're going to vet and work with, and then say, hey, we recommend you, that kind of stuff. We work with all kinds of local charities. We don't throw stuff out. When we go there, we don't say, they say, what are you going to do with all this stuff? Say, well, first thing we're going to do is donate it to charities, to people that need it. Then we're going to open up the door to anybody, like let's say with a Facebook message, hey, if anybody needs something. And then we're assuming after that no one else wants anything else. We'll manage it very, very comfortably. But we even take the sheets that people leave in the closets and we bring them to special pals for the dogs. I mean, that's to the point that we go, because I hate throwing stuff out. I'm not a hoarder, but I hate, if something's sitting there, I hate to throw it out without putting it to use. So even my suits, I've lost a lot of weight since I retired, and I had like 10, 12 business suits that didn't fit me anymore. Well, my wife knows a service, 10 miles away that deals with homeless men that need these suits when they go for interviews. So, we just loaded up the car and drove over there, and we do the same thing with clothing and everything else. So our job is not just the end of that, of getting a contract signed.
So it's pretty safe to say if somebody at Ohana Legacy recommends a particular service or somebody else in and around the space or in and around the area, it's a pretty viable referral, right? It's not just, hey, I'm referring it because I heard of it. It's, hey, I'm referring this because I have a relationship, or we use it, ourselves.
Absolutely.
So love that. I wish, more. That's why we're on the mission to find the best in America, the best real estate experts out there, because unfortunately, folks, there is a lot of, quote unquote, real estate experts that are in it for the wrong reason. And if you take anything from this interview here and hearing a little bit from Chris and Sal and Ohana Legacy, it's that family really matters, and there is a right way to do this. And at the end of the day, when you do it the right way, we create the win-win for everybody. And I think the world's always a better place when we make sure everybody's on the winning side, right?
Absolutely. And life is too short not to show love, especially nowadays. It's way too short.
That was very sweet, Chris.
I love it. Well, I'm going to have you guys hang on backstage for 1 second. I'm going to wrap us up here. But it was a pleasure having you guys on the show. Look forward to seeing your continued growth in business and being able to help more and more people in and around the Houston market.
Thank you so much for highlighting us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, folks. With that being said, that wraps up today's episode on the America's Best Real Estate Experts show. Again, if you want to get more information on Ohana Legacy or other real estate experts all over America, head over to americasbestrealestateexperts.com. You can scroll down, you can look at all their different profiles, get in touch with them. And as always, if you've got somebody, if you notice somebody's not listed on there, we're on the mission. We want to find the best in America. Send us a message, let us know so we can reach out to them, get them interviewed, make sure that they meet the criteria to be considered one of America's best real estate experts. Till next time, we'll see you guys later.